Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jane with the tips, and I'm back with another amazing tips. And this time it's not just for flight attendant, it's not for upcoming flight attendant, it's for our passengers. Yes, okay, it's not just the flight attendants that have got to do all of the job on board. Even our passengers have got their own parts to play. And that's why I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things you can do as a passenger to help our jobs easier. Some of the things that you should know before you get on board. So if you're first time on my channel, my name is Jane Obi. As you can see, I'm a flight attendant, a wellness teacher, and also a YouTuber. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the Juice family. Please do not leave without hitting the subscribe button below. You can also ask me any question in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer as much as possible. And do not leave without giving me a thumbs up, a like, if you have enjoyed any of my videos. So without wasting much time, let's talk to our passengers. Okay, let me let you know what you can do to make our job easier when you're on board. Number one is safety. A flight attendant is not just on board for your comfort, is not on board to decorate the cabin, to make the cabin look beautiful. We are primarily on board for your safety. We are there to ensure that you and the rest of the crew, you're safe, and that all safety instructions are there too. And that's the reason why we are there. So when you're on board a flight, it is very important that you listen to every safety instructions or to every safety briefing that you will be given to. For example, the overwing exit. If you're seated by the overwing exit, you will be briefed on how to operate that exit in the case of an emergency. It is important that you know that the overwing exit is a self-help exit. In the case of an emergency, you will be opening that exit, getting yourself out of the aircraft and other passengers out of the aircraft. So it is very important that you listen to this briefing. That's not the time for you to challenge us or to tell us how you've been flying before, how you've flown other aircraft, and how you know all of the briefings. It is very important that you listen. Sometimes some of these briefings could be changed. Sometimes some of the aircraft that you've been on could be different from the aircraft that you're on. So it is very important that you listen to every briefing, especially when you're seated at an emergency exit. When the cabin crew is in front of you to brief you on the overwing exit, please turn off your phones or put down your phones, take off your earpiece or your AirPods and just listen. It actually takes nothing. We're just there to make sure that all of these instructions are adhered to. And it's not just for, it's not because we just want to give you this instruction, but we want you safe and every other crew or every other person on board safe. Another instruction is infant belt. Most times when we give mothers infant belt, you hear excuses like, my baby doesn't want to lie this way, my baby doesn't want to sit this way, my baby cannot stay this way, my baby wants to walk down the aisle. It is very important that you secure yourself and your child. That is the reason why a safety belt was given. It is very important that you secure yourself and also secure your child. So if an infant belt is given to you, please secure your belt and secure your child attached to you. That is the reason why you're given that belt. So there are so many other safety briefings that you will be briefed. Please, it is very important that when you get on board, you listen to these instructions, listen to these briefings so that you can be safe and the rest of the crew can be safe. Number two is delayed flight. I know how painful, I know how sad, I know how hurting this could be. But let me let you know that there is nobody as sad as the cabin crew when a flight is being delayed. Flight attendants are not the cause of the delayed flight. No matter what it is not an excuse for you to come on board and be abusive and be disruptive and be insultive and then even start up a fight or become unruly. It is not an excuse. The flight attendants you see on board are not the cause of the delayed flight. Anyone who doesn't even want a delayed flight is the flight attendant. So we are not the cause of the delayed flight. Although we sympathize, although we understand how you might feel, whatever it might have cost you, but we are not the cause of the delayed flight. So when you're on board, even if your flight has been delayed, there's absolutely no reason you come on board, you become abusive, you become disruptive, you refuse to listen to briefings, or you become unruly, whatever it is. safety will not be compromised. If you come on board because you have a delayed flight and you become disruptive and you become unruly or abusive, you might be stepped down. So it is very important that when you come on board, no matter what has happened, no matter how delayed the flight might be, please be well behaved. Although we are very sorry that your flight might have been disrupted, or whatever schedule you have might have been disrupted. So when you come on board, please still obey every instruction that you might be given, listen to whatever briefing, do everything that you are meant to do to ensure that you're safe and every other passenger on board is safe. Number 3 is be polite when you're asking for help, especially when you're trying to stow your bags. It is not the job of the flight attendant to stow your bags. You packed up your bag from home, you fill it up with items, personal items or whatever it is, and it becomes too heavy for you to lift. It's never going to be less heavier for a flight attendant to lift. If your bag is too heavy for you to lift, it's definitely going to be too heavy for the flight attendant to lift. It is not our job to lift your bag. But if you might need assistance, it is very important that you're polite. You can ask for help in a very polite manner. If your bag is too heavy to fit it in the overhead lockers, then you can also get a tag and place your bag in the cargo hold. There is absolutely no reason for you to bring a bag that is way too big and cannot fit in the overhead lockers and expect the cabin crew or the flight attendant to perform magic with it. If the bag is too big, to be taken off the cabin and then placed in the cargo hold. And if you might need help in stowing your bag in the overhead lockers, please ask the cabin crew in a polite manner. We are only allowed to help passengers who are physically disabled, children, mothers, nursing mothers, or someone who is sick. But if you're fit, you're strong, you would have to lift your bag yourself, or you ask in a polite manner. And number 4 is listen to safety instructions. Every instruction given to you by the cabin crew on board is for your safety and the safety of every other passenger and the crew. Safety instructions like fasten your seatbelt, remain seated while the aircraft is still taxiing, obeying the seatbelt signs, opening your windows, stowing back your tray tables, stowing your bag in the overhead lockers, or putting your bag well under the seat in front of you. Instructions like this might sound very little, but they're very, very important. When you're on board the aircraft and the cabin crew gives you all of these instructions, it is very important that you obey them. It actually takes nothing. We want to make you comfortable. Yes, we want you to be very relaxed, but safety comes first and will not be compromised. Instructions like opening the windows when we are about to land is very important. Instructions like fitting your bag properly under the seat in front of you. These are very, very important. When the aircraft is still taxiing and the cabin crew has just briefed you to remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop, that is not the time for you to get up and remove your bag from the overhead locker and leave them on the aisle. An emergency can still occur even when the aircraft is still taxiing. When the aircraft has just landed, that is not the time for you to stand up and want to use the lavatory. Anything can still happen at that time. That is still part of the critical phase of flying. So when the aircraft has landed, wait on your seat, remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop. And then the fasten seatbelt signs have been turned off. Then you can stand up to retrieve your bags and then leave the aircraft. So guys, if you're going to be flying next time, it is very important that you know all of these things. You might even be the one to save the day. You might be the one to notice something is wrong with the aircraft. You might be the one to see something that is not safe. You might be the one to call the attention of the cabin crew, and you might be the one to save the day. So when you're on board, please listen to the cabin crew, listen to all the safety briefings, and obey safety instructions. So guys, when next I catch you on board, I hope you're going to be obeying all of the safety steps. Listen to your cabin crew, listen to all the safety briefings. They are not just there for your comfort, but they are there to make you safe. So if you've enjoyed this video, please share it to your friends, share it to frequent flyers so that they can also know the things they should know before they get on board and things they should do to make our jobs easier for us. If you've enjoyed this video, you can also give it a thumbs up. You can ask me whatever question in the comment section, and do not fail to subscribe. See you guys in my next video, and thank you for watching.